Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on very, very crucial ongoing Supreme Civil Justice sign-off provided for myself, for I am Vethapriya, PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil Supreme Civil Judge. And why I'm serving the sign of civil justice for myself, it is United States of American nation with fatal negligence created robocall poverty mandate and enforced poverty to I and enforced finance disability to I and enforced finance debt to I, and that is deadliest crime of USA. So what this civil justice session is all about, it is we are talking, if we are in same page, we are being educated on how and why exactly software world is held creative in one way or the other, with or without awareness, and with their fatal negligence, they don't even know how much of destruction they are providing to the civilians worldwide. So nobody stood up and provided discipline to the software world, and software world were thinking they are only the gods, they can rule the nation, so nobody can step in and ask. So that is wrong. That is wrong. And by displaying the crime of all the software world one side, I'm also displaying how men can never be caregivers. They are innocent, so being innocent means they are less wise. Okay. On the other end, I'm also displaying how women in the software world are super evil. Because double innocent women means should be the highest wisdom, means then they should have at least stepped in and provided the discipline or the healthy education or wisdom guidance to all the software world population, but they never provided that. So that itself is a proof of how evil in this evil highest gender in the software world are, after all, women after all, right? So that is a direct display how the evil is also displayed, because when that innocence is stripped off, the evil becomes more. The foolish eyes becomes blinded forever. So that is why it was like almost like the software world blind leading a blind mode. Right, so men are innocent, so one step, one level of blind. Women are double innocent, but they also became evil, and they got eyes blinded twice. The level is more blinded. So blind leading a blind will do what? Leading a destruction. So that is how every software world got collapsed in pieces. As of today, all Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Twitter, media, any type of media, and Yahoo, all are handcuffed mode. They're all at fault, found guilty in all kinds of crimes of Vatican. And on the other end, I'm also proving how they are purest puppets and purest slaves to Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II. No, nobody else in this world. So people were wondering why this Twitter, Facebook, and software world are providing YouTube, right? They're providing unhealthy toxins to the population, right? They were not able to figure out the answer. Even the software world, they never knew that it is the Queen Elizabeth II who has enslaved all the software world population and enforced to provide the wrongful, abusive, unhealthy software code means. There's an innocence in the software world as well. Same like entertainment, how entertainment population got slaughtered. It is software world also got slaughtered. So there is that innocence part is identified in my book of civil law. So that is why I only can bail out the software world, nobody can. And I can discipline them the rightful way, having cane in my hand. That is all is needed, because once when healthy guidance and shutting down all the foolish ways and then providing only wisdom pathways means no other go. They have to walk only in the wisdom ways. And once when they start to walk on the wisdom ways, the foolish people will realize how heaven it is to walk in the wisdom ways. Right? So today, as of this moment, it must be the Twitter, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, or Google, all must be shedding tears of shame, because they are all men's club. And what they did to the population, did they do any good? You all tell me, my dear fellow man, did they do any good at all? It sounds like looks like good is what they did. But no, right? They did just too much of disasters to the fellow mankind. And out of that disasters, they were earning a lot of money. Facebook, Twitter getting richest only by the civilians using their messenger apps. And I already said the crime of Facebook is skyrocketing. GoFund means the Facebook, I don't know who gave that idea, suggestion to provide even that line of business product. That is wrong. Crime. There's no other crime to enforce the fellow mankind to beg, and by making the fellow mankind to beg, making a dollars out of it is the deadliest crime, my dear fellow mankind. And Facebook, with or without awareness, he provided that, and I think his innocence is being exploited by the government, by the Pope Francis. Got it? So he must have started the Facebook and the Twitter. They are all in the younger generations, right? So they wanted to start it for a fun, how to reconnect, like that mode only. But then later on it became too much of a toxins, and toxins was injected. The same way how late Germany, Hitler started his organization only to save the poverty people. The long form for Nazi is also that only, for poverty and the labor union and low income population only. So that was his good intentions only, and he proved his accomplishments, right? He was able to ban tobacco and alcohol. Itself is a lot of labor. It's not easy to discipline a nation to ban that. It's not easy, but he did it. So everybody has their own talent in their every generation era. But then how the talented got wasted. Everything waned, right? This Facebook and Twitter, they wanted to build a line of business product in whatever fun way they wanted to provide. Because everybody knows it's the very youngest software services. But then how they got misguided and by the toxins, right? And it became a super filth. And super filth means nobody knows it's a super filth. Itself is a display of innocence. You name any public sector, they have Twitter. You name any government officials worldwide, they be in Twitter. You name any celebrities in the Hollywood, they'll be in the Twitter. So that means how they enforce people to fall in the trap without any awareness. So there again, people never knows Twitter is just a messenger app. That is what my understanding is all about. Same as Facebook, but in a different brand. That's all. It's my understanding. But then, how these two people, the younger generation, became richest only with messenger apps alone. And what is the crime they were doing? They were also on top of it. They were using the user's data and selling it for dollars and making money out of it. And what is the deadliest crime Facebook is providing? GoFundMe. That means Facebook is saying what? Hey, civilians, go beg. You go beg, you raise money, whatever, using that GoFund thing, and I will become rich out of that. That is wrong, right? That is super wrong, right? Why nobody stood up and slapped on the face of Facebook? Got it? How and why Apple, Google, Microsoft must be laughing out loudest in their heart, but they cannot show it outside because everybody is fallen in the trap. Everybody is sailing on the same boat. I already said nobody can mock nobody. Nobody can mock Facebook. Sorry, nobody. But as a parent discipline mode, I am disciplining in a rightful way each and every single software scandal in a rightful way. I will only seal and shut down Twitter and Facebook for classification of domestic violence and human endangerment, child endangerment, family bonding endangerment, relationship endangerment. Do you all know the severity of the crimes that I'm talking about? How many people divorced? How many people became widows? How many people killed each other? How many people suicide, self-inflicted and suicide? How many people provided violence of any nature worldwide? How many people were using these messenger apps to mock and bully the fellow mankind, regardless of whatever status they are, whether they are celebrities, whether they are Hollywood or entertainment world, or whether they are in the software world, whether they are in the business world, whether they are households, whether they are family members, whether they are colleagues, whether they are whatever, how they pulled each other and then they just were tearing them down in pieces. How many? How many? Do you all think people should need these kind of hell creators? Did you all ask for Twitter? I don't think so. Nobody asked for Twitter. I never asked for Twitter. I never asked for any software services in the first place. Imagine the life without those software era, the software products era. Imagine that peaceful life all worldwide, how it was, people. Even when it was a government politics, it was only government politics. Like everybody was still in that peaceful mode only. But all in the name of software, all in the name of robots, all in the name of machine learning, all in the name of artificial intelligence, all in the name of software, all in the name of everything will be automated, all in the name of paperless. They created a total disaster, isn't it? When it is coming to the festival or a family gathering or reunion, the relationships got destroyed because people always looking on the smartphone, Twitter, Facebook, this, that. How? Why? Certain people, they know how to use. But if you're going to look into their, like doctors only, these people, they know, if you go and look, they are filthy rich, right? If you're going to take the Twitter, Facebook, or any of the software giants, Yahoo, everybody, they are all super rich, okay? They live in mansions, and not only one house, they will have many facilities worldwide. But then, imagine they never even bothered about how the emotions will be destroyed, feelings will be destroyed, memories will be destroyed, relationships will be destroyed for the fellow mankind. And the cost of them getting destroyed, they got rich. Can you all now trace everything, whatever is happening in the now is all as predicted in Holy Bible, Revelation 18th chapter? Facebook and Twitter are the merchandise for Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis. They are purest form of Republica. They get to extract the Republica means they get to extract all the labor from the wisest people. And one fine day they will thrash those wisest people. It's been a pattern of abuse forever. And it's a known track record. Nobody can deny on that part. Everybody knows how crap the Babylonians are, how crap the Islam Judaisms are. Blood cells level, they enjoy the sufferings of fellow mankind. They are super cunning. What is President Joe Biden going to do? Because he's going to have his account either in Facebook or in Twitter or in both or whatever or any other media. Okay, let's say if he says he's not having his account in Facebook or in Twitter, absolutely he must have been in any of the media in Google or Apple. So everything comes under one umbrella only. Everything is a prostitution. Twitter is a prostitution. What is President Joe Biden going to do about that? Does he even know how many households got destroyed because of this adverse software provided by Twitter and Facebook alone? How many population got divorced? How many relationships got destroyed? How many times the USA government stepped in to provide the medical compensation, finance compensation? What did Dr. Fauci and Dr. Briggs educated about providing finance compensation when people are impacted by this adverse software provided by Twitter and Facebook? Nothing. But they were so cunning to market on the masks. Got it? I even recently saw that news, and it's too much of nauseating, right? Because of how the injustice alone is worldwide. It looked like it's from the news. I came to know Dr. Fauci got $1 million from Israeli government for whatever guidance he was providing for this COVID-19. Imagine. Can you all see how the scandal is a scandal is a scandal, and how injustice alone is thrown worldwide? Dr. Fauci, for providing the COVID-19 scandal, got $1 million from Israeli government. And what is Israeli government? It's fake Israel. They want people to be more foolish, and the more foolish the people are making, they all will get luxury. So Facebook tearing down the brains of fellow mankind means Facebook will be thrown with lot of dollars by Pope. When Twitter is tearing down the brains of fellow mankind, Pope Francis will throw a lot of dollars for the Twitter. The more destruction they are making, the more toxins they are going to inject to the brains of human fellow mankind, there will be that salary, that luxury, everything will be increased based out of that. That is how Babylon government operates. Babylon government is an Islam Judaism government, right? That's a process model. And finally, Roman Empire followed that model only. So today, US is a Roman Empire, is the purest form of Babylon Empire means. That is how. They will say it's a lawless government, but they will have all the fake law. Got it? As if it is holy, like that. But then, you all know that criminal justice should not be available, but it's still that itself is a proof that how USA got destroyed in pieces. And it was created for these people, these abusive software world to live free. So Twitter must have never have thought in its lifetime. It is also youngest one only. Same age as of Facebook, I would say. Maybe 1 or 2 years here and there. So can you all see the innocence of how the younger generation brain works in a foolish way after all? Right? But they displayed their own talent, that how on the earth with just messenger app alone they became so richest. And all the civilians will be just one side not fooled mode, but will be thinking, oh my God, how is it only out of messenger app alone these two people, giants became giants, richest, filthy richest? And on top of it, they are providing all the abusive software. That is wrong, right? Why there should be pornography? At least Twitter is youngest generation, Facebook is younger generation. At least they could have stepped in, because they are all working side by side with federal government, and they are also side by side working with FBI and national intelligence and security, homeland security. What did they do? Nothing, right? Nothing. Zero. So when they are providing their rules and regulations, oh, we are going to ban these people, oh, we are going to shut down this account, means that itself is a crap. When the entire design is wrong, Twitter itself is a prostitution organization. Whatever they are providing for a community standards and they are banning processing itself is wrong. The same thing goes for Facebook also. So why on the earth there may be a need for a face ID? You tell me. You tell me why. So there is some kind of a deadliest crime that is going on. Who created all this kind of a crap, and even the face ID crap? Why governments want to know the face ID? Why? What is the need? What is the scope? What is the profit? How people were living in a little bit of peace before this software came, the software world products came. Imagine the world. Imagine, go in the memory lane and think over how it was, how the relationship was. Good, right? You know, do you all know that, yes, there are people who are fanatics, love for Twitter and Facebook, and they will not like me displaying the raw truth, but that's okay. And I, as a civil doctor, I know what kind of angry the people, fans of Twitter and Facebook will be at me. That's okay. They'll even spit on my face, curse me to the death, or accuse me, whatever they want. I will stand as a rock in front, and I am not bothered about that. I'll say, go mock me, go bully me, anything, and I will stand with a cane in my hand only. That is all for the discipline. That is all for the discipline. How much of destruction they did, with or without awareness. I would say without awareness would be 95% after all, right? Because they created it for a good intention only, in a fun way, because everybody knows on the how the younger generation brain works, right? So that's how they came up with these messenger app. Why can't we have this messenger so that we can chat with all the people worldwide like that? But then when the toxins got injected, at least they should have stepped up and provided some healthy preventative measures, but they never did, right? How easy it is for Twitter to educate the FBI or the Department of Health Services, telling that, hey, ban pornography, hey, ban quiz words. It's easiest, right? Because they are providing that healthy recreational services. These Twitter and Facebook all comes under the recreation category only. They are just a messenger apps, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Maybe I don't know what are the other line of business products Twitter is providing. I have no clue. I don't even know why they even started when there is Facebook. I don't know who started first or who started second. I don't even want to go into that details. It is there. As of today, Twitter is there and Facebook is there, and they never bothered to ban any of the adverse software, and that is crime. Right? That is crime. Twitter cannot be proudest saying that Twitter is always proudest to be fatal negligence. No. Twitter do not have any birthright to be fatal negligence. The same thing goes for Facebook as well. So that is why the Apple, Google and Microsoft is already aware. This lady will be the best disciplinarian to discipline the Twitter and Facebook. Everybody, that is why, see, nobody can chew or tell it out loud. Twitter is wrong, Facebook is wrong, because there's a fear, survival mode. What if they get caught like that mode? But then I am providing unbiased civil justice. In the civil justice weighing machine, Twitter, Facebook, Apple, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, all are same at fault, same found guilty, everybody. So that is why nobody can mock nobody. But then they were not able to tell it out loud, means they were not able to figure out the root cause. Only when people have the root cause, they can display the truth. That is what I am providing. So they all became slaves to Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II, and that is why they were providing the software abuse. And they got all the curse. How many people, see, when there are at least 90%, let's say, or maybe 95%, okay, let's even put 99% of the people want to be in the media, being it Twitter or Facebook or any of the competitors, let's say. But then, do you all know there are always 1% of the population who never wanted to be on any of these media? And I am one of them. But I would say I came to the media, and that is how I'm in media. And I'm not ashamed of that. I already said God uses tool, filthiest tool, only to reach out to people. I'm not ashamed, my dear fellow mankind, right? So that means when I am disciplining Facebook and Twitter, when I'm in Facebook, when I was working in Facebook only, the Facebook and Twitter are almost the same, right? So then that is how the Twitter also increased their characters length. Because of my education, I had to type. So with that smallest tool, the Facebook tool, I was running 193 nations. I proved my governance, I proved my leadership, excellent way. When all the national leaders were breaking down their heads how to run the nation, God made me to use that simplest tool, the filthy tool only. No doubt about it. Right? Nobody can deny. Nobody can say Facebook is holy, holy, perfect God like that. No. But I used that tool only, and I was running 193 nations, and USA was listening to me, India was listening to me, entire software world was listening to me, even Facebook also listened to me only. Even Facebook was listening to me only. Only thing only now they will be thinking, oh my gosh, it is that lady is this lady, oh no. We should have provided all the redesigning already. Oh man, this lady is going to ask for the status report. Because I provided all the solutions, all the step-by-step processing, like spoon feeding process mode, like I educated everybody. Just do this, ban all the unhealthy stuff and work on providing healthy processing, expand your business in a healthy way, create more healthy jobs. Even when I was posting, because of my education only, I already said for posting, it is my understanding, Facebook came up with that idea of giving away salary for providing healthy postings, right? So when I was posting, they were doing a lot of changes with my education. See, I am able to observe. I'm a good observer. I want to tell you that as part of my me. Nobody will realize how much I observed my fellow mankind in just a few seconds. It can be in a meeting, team meeting, it can be in a family gathering. In just few seconds, I will observe quickly. And my fellow mankind, my peers, will not even realize that I observed so detailed mode. I talk very less. And introvert, right? That's what they call. Extrovert means they will be talking. For me, it will take a lot of time to talk. And I'm an excellent observer, I would say. For a scale of 1 to 10, if you're going to ask me how good am I in observing, I would say 10. My fellow mankind will not even realize how much I observed. Okay? And at the same time, if something that is just not right, looking not right in a gathering, in a meeting or something, nobody have to tell it out loud. I can figure it out. And that is a God-given talent, I would say. That's why I do not even have to talk to know the pain or agony my fellow man can undergo through. I can feel it. And that itself will create too much of emotional disturbances from me. Okay. So that is one of the reason I would say when I see injustice, my blood boils. Okay? I don't know about my peers. It might be different how my peers handle when they witness injustice. For me, I just do not like injustice. It's as simple as that. So, tell me, what will Twitter do now? It is because of my wisdom education only that Twitter even increased the character in their line of business product. That's the proof. And now they are in the handcuffed mode, at fault mode, found guilty in all crimes of Vatican mode, in front of all the nations worldwide. I just have Twitter handcuffed and Facebook handcuffed in front of all nations. They would never have even thought in their entire lifetime that I, Vethapriya, only will be providing civil justice for them. that's ongoing, and whatever is on Holy Bible is happening right now. They sure will witness in their own eyes how Pope Francis will be thrown in volcano in Hawaii. So can you all see how the software world is mandated to look at fault mode? Okay, let's say I am unemployed now. But let's say down the road, USA must sign off the job offer, that is separate. What if I'm going to get a job in the software world? I sure will work for the software world. I'm not ashamed. Right? I already said, I initially started by saying what? I know what is the entertainment world. I know entertainment world is filth. So let's say everything is filth. Everything is a prostitution. You name every single public sector is prostitution. You name every single private sector is prostitution. So that means population should never be employed at this point of time. But still, on the survivor mode, they have to be in that monthly paycheck mode to feed their families. So survival mode. I only can step in. I finished everybody's job. I already said what? Nobody have to go to the workplace anymore. I finished everybody's job, including software developers, design solution, everything I finished. But then what is the civil justice? I have to step in, right? I have to sign off the job. Then I have to guide. I have to guide this Twitter like a traffic policeman, right? I know what talent Twitter and Facebook have. So I know what talent Google have. I know what talent Apple have. So I know how to assign the task correctly. That is what a true leader does. And I provided with an example and all the accomplishment, because that is how I was running 193 nations worldwide. Right? So yes, my dear fellow mankind, what is Twitter nation? One more time, it's a prostitution. It is at fault, found guilty for never provided. USA can never provide called poverty mandate. That is a crime. That is absolutely crime. And all the other crimes are what? They are just eating dollars of rightful belong to the population by creating adverse software alone. Oh, that is wrong, my dear fellow mankind. Nobody asked for software. Okay, they provided software. Nobody asked for adverse software. Why even they have to bother to provide adverse software? That is wrong, right? Because the damages they are doing to the human population is not on a physical level. It is always on the brain nerve damages level. Who is going to pay for the damages? I will say Twitter, stand upside down, write $500,000 billion, direct deposit in my bank account and live free. This is what I will say. I never asked for Twitter. I don't know about my peers. I never asked for any software world. I never asked for Twitter. And on top of it, I never asked for any of the adverse software. Who is Twitter and Facebook to even create brain damages to the fellow mankind? Who are they? Who are they? If at all they want to love to create brain damages, they should have worked on to provide that for their families first. But they are very keen. If you look into the software people, like medical doctors only, I doubt whether they even have their Apple, they will even own their Apple products or Microsoft products or even smartphones like which we all use. Means they are richest. But if they are going to look into their lifestyle, I'm pretty much sure they are going to live. They'll be living only in an affordable, modest lifestyle only. Money is a money, no matter what. I already educated you all. Business is business, businessman, that is different. But then when it comes to the money management and spending, expense and all, it is always will be like the average mode only, but little bit on a higher end, because they are more than the middle class population. They are filthy rich. They don't have to worry about any of the monthly billing payment and everything. Their house, everything would have been fully paid after all. Nation gives all those benefits for them. For what? For providing adverse software, for providing pornography, for providing cyber attack, for providing data breach, for providing identity theft, for providing phishing. Now can you all witness how all the software programming language is also made to be abused? It is not even fault of those programming languages after all. And they are telling that they are following this process, that process. How many processes came from waterfall process, software mode, waterfall, agile Kanban, and RAP, Six Sigma, right? What not? Racy, Smart. So many. There are zillions. They come up with this. If you do this process, this will be happening. Then they left out on the main core foundation of humanity. At the cost of destroying humanity, only software world is living. You all tell me, is it good or not? Or is it fair or not? This is not fair, right? It is injustice. And can you all see Twitter? I don't know whether Twitter has any similar product like GoFundMe, but out of all these three people, all the software known, Facebook at fault is highestly increased because provided the GoFundMe begging process. How shameful or how shameless can Facebook be to enforce population to beg and earn money out of that? Do you all know in India, I told, right, in India, there is slum, like means extreme poverty, living less than 50 cents a day more, meaning living with nothing more. But if you're going to walk in few steps away, you are going to see well-designed, high-tech Mumbai. Now it's called as Mumbai, right? So there they used to, in India it's very common, my dear fellow mankind, they used to grab the orphans and remove their eyes or the legs or whatever, and then they are enforced to go and beg. Okay, whatever earnings they are going to bring, it might be anywhere between $1 or $2 range only when you are converting it to the Indian currency. And they will not be provided shelter or anything. And the people, the local people, with the government aided, they earn money out of it. Is there any difference from that, from Facebook doing it? You tell me. I don't want any of you all to laugh, or I don't want any of you to puke. Just stop puking. Eat that puke. That's okay. It's okay. Because the crime that Facebook provided with that GoFundMe is deadliest, my dear friend, fellow mankind. I don't know who on the earth even bothered to provide that guidance to the Facebook to provide that line of business product. It's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Elections is wrong because here in United States of America they have to show how much bank account they have. Only then the eligibility will be even provided for them to stand to become a presidential candidate. They have to go and beg. They have to, in the name of campaigning, they have to beg and raise the money to show to the USA government that they can be eligible to even stand in a presidential candidate. That is wrong. Absolutely wrong. To enforce a civilian to go and beg. Never. Now you all got it right. How I was walking on the road, passing by all the homeless beggars, and in my heart I know they are my blood drops. In my heart and in my human being, my system, my blood cells was boiling only. But then I like to wear different colors of sunglasses. Okay, this is just me, a part of me. I'm just average, but I like to be, wear the sunglasses, stylish mode, whatever they call it. So I used to wear those sunglasses and just pass by, but people, the beggars and the paupers, they will not know that whatever is going inside my mind. Right? But I'll be shedding tears only and passing by, and I will not even bother to they will be asking, can you please put $1 for me, like that. I will just pass by. Versus some of my peers will provide those dollars. And it is your choice. I just walk by. Can you all see how I provided the civil justice in a rightful way after all? Those homeless people, the beggars who were there on the road, they never knew that I am born to save them after all. But for the world or my peers, I was looked always as a rude and an arrogant person, right? Because that's what people will think. When people are asking for, please put me $1.25, and I'm just passing by without, But when I'm wearing this, that's one, what to say, one thing about wearing a sunglass, right? And that too that there are sunglasses with that bright colors, right? The glass sunglasses, the people cannot see, right? So it hides your feelings, everything behind that sunglasses. So that's how when I was passing through, it'll be disturbing, right? Emotionally, I'll be disturbed. But then when I'm wearing the sunglasses and putting a smile and just passing by, nobody will know what's going on inside my mind. So yes, I surely will get civil justice for everybody. Now tell me, is there any difference between the government making homeless to be on the road and beg? Is there any difference between that? And is there any difference between Facebook enforcing civilians to beg using GoFundMe page? No, right? Who is at fault mode? I think he is a dropout from the college, from the Harvard College, right? So these people are very wealthy. They don't know what exactly is poverty. That is one of the reasons of all these disasters that's happening, right? Right? Can you all see how all the hell process, it's all tracing to only one spot, hot spot. Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica, Rome, Roman province, Jesuits leader, Pope Francis. Right? There is a parable in Holy Bible. All the Christians would have known. There will be a rich king, okay, and a poor man, a beggar. And the rich king will be having all the food, riches, everything. And, he'll have everything. Extra, more, like that. But this beggar is beggar. You all know who is a beggar or a pauper, who has nothing. So he'll be begging, going on begging. Please, king, please, please. Please, can you provide me food? Like that. But this king will be eating in front of that beggar only, but he'll not even bother provide any help. So can you all relate how Facebook is the same as that king, and beggars are all the entire population who got fooled by Facebook, thinking Facebook is a god, but it's only after all a messenger app after all. Right? And how Facebook became richest by selling the data of the users without their consent, without their consent. They do not have any birthright to do that. No. What if the same user, the end users want that same thing like a tit for tat? People can do that, right? For civil justice, I can ask for a tit for tat process only. I can ask USA government, okay, USA government, go provide all the damages Facebook done to me or to my fellow mankind. Do the same without any changes to the Facebook founders, family. Means that is exactly tit for tat, but that's not I want. That is never civil justice. I want Twitter and Facebook to live free, to realize why true God of true God is true God always. Why civil justice wins always. Why nobody can buy injustice with dollars. Civil justice with dollars is the wisdom. They should know that. And they should live as a testimony in a disciplined way, moving forward to display the God's name alone to be glorified means that is a healthy civil justice I can provide from my end. That is innocence identified for Twitter and Facebook. That is all is needed for me to allow them to live free. Go live free. Plus, but do not ever in a dream to think of creating hell for mankind. Don't do that. That is wrong. So you all got it, my dear fellow mankind. Twitter and Facebook are only messenger apps. Okay, but the crime of Facebook is more. Can you all see? So is it a God's plan? I don't know. When I'm putting Twitter in at-fault mode, Facebook in at-fault mode, who is more innocent for your eyes? Is it Twitter more innocent or Facebook more innocent? When both of them are at-fault mode, found guilty, and crime mode, the same level mode, I would say Twitter is displaying innocence than the Facebook. Right? That is my book of civil law. The moment Facebook provided the GoFundMe to enforce the population to go beg, and I will become, the Facebook will become rich of that shows his cunningness upfront. And college dropout means everybody should know that the resume, the education, the experience, everything became invalid. Microsoft's founder was a dropout, and then later on only he finished his degree. So why on the earth they even would bother how much of experience you have in these? Because it's going to take 90 days of time for any civilian to understand the system's processing in any workplace. Why can't they even provide that 90-day itself as a on-the-job training? Then the experience, everything does not even come into the picture. Education, everything, right? If they have experience, then that's good. If they do not have the experience, that is also good. That is how the hiring process should be. Right? They should give opportunity to everybody. Facebook is a dropout founder. But see how he made dollars, billions of dollars only out of messenger app. That is his talent. He was able to get the contract from federal government. If you go and see his very initial interview with the government, you should see his face. Freaked out mode, fear mode, insecure mode, don't know why this much of attention he's getting from the world for just he did only messenger app. Right? So that's how the software world must be only laughing out when they are being grilled by the USA government. Because they do not have any clue how the software works, right? So, can you all see how innocence only is displayed? Bottom line, there is only innocence displayed. Okay, on the gender level, I also displayed how men are innocent after all and how women in the software world are evil after all. Not even one bothered to step in and provide wisdom education. Right? Because population brains are damaged thinking that only men are caregivers. No, they're not. I'm proving it in every single action. And I'm the only woman who's slapping out all the men's club, be it national leaders or government leaders or software world, public sector, private sector, all men's club. And I'm slapping everybody left and right on their face and saying every single design is a crap. It's a garbage. Upfront. It's a trash. What basic essential did they provide? No, nothing. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, how is the day? This is the normal conversation that needs to be done in person mode. Got it? And when these came into the picture, they even separated that healthy relationship, that emotional way of bonding. They separated that also, emotionally separating people. That is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. How, before these, how people interact, express their love. They hug, they kiss, right? They hold hands and will tell, don't worry, I am there for you. Don't worry, we can get past through this together. That kind of humane conversation is calm, right? Enforced to use only these software services, which is creating only illusion after illusion, which is in another way of pornography after all, right? Pornography means what? Illusion. That is all the meaning of pornography is. It illusionizes that this is what sex is, but that is not the sex. People should never see other fellow mankind's nudity in true Christianity. But what these USA nation enforced people to do? How many people get to see the pornography images, sexual violent content images by accident? More than 35% of the people, accidentally they get into those kind of stuff. That is wrong. So can you all tell me how this, any of the software project management processing itself went wrong? If those processes were correct, right? That's what they say. Six Sigma says that they always provide 0 errors. RUP says they provide all the iterative process by task, they provide, and it's good. Agile says, oh, we work so agile way. On the fly, on the dynamic way, we fix everything. But why they never fix pornography? Why? Using those processing models alone, they could have easily tracked down and traced down and banned pornography, prostitution, cyber attack, phishing, robocalling. Everything could have been fixed. Nothing is rocket science, because these are all never created by God. These abusive toxins was never created by God. It was created by humans, and in a healthy, disciplined way, it could have been done. Why it was not able to be fixed? Because Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis want to eat tax out of that, my fellow mankind. Tax for this, tax for pornography, tax for prostitution, tax for Las Vegas, tax for cyber attacks, tax for phishing, tax for robocalling. Everything tax only. Bottom line boils up to tax, dollars. How humanity got destroyed. How humanity got destroyed. How relationships got destroyed. Imagine how the relationships before this, all this software media came. Imagine the world that time, how people were. So still people, the same people who were living that generation are still living now, and they're still okay only. So that itself is a proof that people can live without these Twitter and Facebook. That's the reality. That's the truth. People can still live without all these messenger apps, all this adverse software, right? But they want to fool people that people cannot live without Twitter, people cannot live without Facebook like that. That is wrong. They created addiction, enforced addiction for the population. That is wrong. That comes under the classification of domestic violence, isn't it? Causation of injury to the brain nerves, creating addiction. For me, though I am in the robo era, I don't know, when people mocks me or not, I'm not so comfortable with that, these media kind of thing. Okay. Yes, I am in the media. That's also for a healthy purpose only. I just do not want the media people, the software people to feel low. I'm saying I'm one among you. Don't worry. I am there. I will stand in front of you and get all the medical financial aid. Be patient. So there's a reason behind it also. I only can bail out them. I only can get the finance compensation for them. For me, I like that, sitting and talking, laughing out loudest with the people, right? I like that more than, this media came in between more. No, I do not like it. It's okay if my peers going to hate me for that, but that's just the way I am. I like to sit and talk and laugh out loudest with the people around. But sadly, this software world provided that kind of a distraction, right? It created a wall, it created a barrier, it created a roadblock for the people. Worldwide, it's the same. How many people are enforced to only interact using this media alone? Illusion way, right? Can you all see how illusion only is being injected in various versions after all? And people got fooled without any awareness. So everybody has to live with it, and everybody is dealing with it, living with it. And yes, I don't know about my peers. I'm just living with it and dealing with it with God given strength. Even though I do not like it, I have to chew it, right? And live with it, deal with it, die with it. I would rather say that also, right? Yes, people cannot talk. The victims of abuse of population became from Twitter and Facebook abuse. They cannot talk, and I'm talking in front of them. That is all. I'm just talking for the entire population who became victims of abuse because of this Twitter and Facebook abusive nature, and I'm just talking for them. And I also said when people were panic mode, come out of Facebook, come out of Twitter. I only said, no. Relax, take a deep breath, be in the media, wherever media, you be in that media. That is how the civil justice can be provided correctly, right? Just because going out of that Twitter, or just because shutting down the Twitter or shutting down the Facebook, it's not going to solve the problem. If there is not Facebook or Twitter, there will be another competitor. So we have to find the root cause, burn the root cause of all this hell creation and burn it in ashes. Then we all can be living free. Then Twitter will provide healthy services. Then Facebook will provide healthy services. Means yes, people can even provide a healthy balance or whatever they can choose, and they can use the Twitter in a healthy way, Facebook in a healthy way. Do not live in that illusion that everything is okay mode. That is what I am educating. Everything is crap as of this moment. Twitter is crap and Facebook is crap. That is the reality. It's a garbage. And if you are going to see every public sector, they are having that garbage in their garbage. They are themselves a garbage. And inside that garbage, they are having another garbage. Can you all see how garbage in a garbage life cycle is also provided? I know you all are laughing, but how wise can this lady be? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, it is God created me from dust. It is God provided me that wisdom. Got it? That is why a wisest always stands out in the crowd. There is innocence in Twitter and Facebook also, but Facebook is less innocent when compared to Twitter. In my book of civil law. That's all. The moment the GoFundMe page is provided, at least one educated man or educated woman should have stood up and educated Facebook to just scramble that project. Rather they allowed it, right? That is a crime. That is a crime. That is absolutely a crime. And what is President Joe Biden going to do about that? President Joe Biden either has to support Facebook, Twitter, or President Joe Biden has to say he never heard about the word Twitter or Facebook. Right? Can you see how I am displaying how President Joe Biden only is at fault? President Trump is innocent. Right? is innocent. How many population became victims of abuse because of this Twitter and Facebook? They shouted for help from the government and government never even bothered to help them. Now, today, everybody is happiest because I am the one who is going to get the help for everybody, financial compensation for everybody. Including Twitter, including Facebook. I only can bail them out. Nobody can. Okay. So yes, with that part of that overview, I will read the civil justice sign-off. It is a multitasking, right? What is the crime one more time? Twitter failed in educating. USA cannot provide robocall poverty to me. That is a crime for Twitter. I never asked for Twitter. I never asked for software. I never asked for nation governments. I never asked for Republican government. I never asked for Democrat government. Who are them to even bother to enforce poverty to me? Pay the price. That way, even in the dream, the Twitter and Facebook will work only forever, will work only healthy services. They'll never even bother to even create any kind of hurt for any fellow mankind. Never, forever. Until software services get destroyed or dissolved, their Twitter and Facebook will never bother to hurt fellow mankind forever. That is how the civil justice should be. I am providing true convictions, means I am removing the shame of whatever they have and whatever guilt, right? Because they are coming under the classification of domestic violence and abusive category. So that means how much of shame they would have, but it's all, I'm removing it. A true conviction provides that. A true conviction provides that. That's how I'm as a true friend. Only I'm helping Twitter and Facebook in a healthy way is the wisdom after all. By displaying their errors, I'm just helping them out in the rightful way. Okay, you all provided the abuse. Stop it. Redesign, rewrite, walk in wisdom way. I have cane in my hand. This is how I'm providing the discipline. That is all. Right? Okay, so for I, Vethapriya, PROSE, proved scandal of absolute monarchs and proved Pope Francis Roman Empire King Herod as of February 2021. Any salary as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective, immediate, using direct deposit to my bank account to I am that I am, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide, can you help me? So scandal facts of Republica Europe nations worldwide is Republica prostitution, Twitter nations, never educated USA Republican government can never enforce poverty and USA can never create robocall poverty mandate to I, Vethapriya PROSE, a true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, and it is fatal negligence of Republica prostitution, Twitter nations to be fatal negligence. Either USA government should say knows who is Republica prostitution, Twitter nations, or either USA government should say don't know who is Republica Twitter nations. So Republica Twitter nations created robocall poverty mandate and it is deadliest crime as of February 2021. It comes under the classification of domestic violence, breach of duty, intentional infliction of emotional distress, causation and injury, battery and types, assault and types, false imprisonment and types, trespass to land and types, trespass to chattels and types. So I, Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, own this text for ongoing civil justice sign-off. USA prostitution, Twitter nations with fatal negligence failed to educate. USA cannot create robocall poverty mandate and by default created Republica USA robocall poverty mandate to I, Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, and Republica government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced poverty mandate to I and took away $4,500 on October 2018 abruptly and enforced finance debt of $10,210.38 since October 2018, 2019, 2020 and also enforced finance disability to I. So the crime is for Republica, Prostitution, Twitter nations when ruling USA never educated. USA should never provide, enforce poverty to I, Vethapriya, PROSE. So civil justices, I, Vethapriya, PROSE want USA CEO, Citibank CEO to pay off my debt $10,210.38 in full and sign off tax-free $4,500. And Republica, Prostitution, Twitter nations must sign off tax-free $500,000 billion to be direct deposit to my bank account for all types of damages done by software world and selfish, cunning Islam, Judaism, absolute monarchs types, wild endangered species and health creators, and direct deposit to my bank account. And at fault and found guilty, Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA government will provide the needful. For I displayed the absolute monarch scandal to the USA, I, Vethapriya, PROSE want USA government to rename the Lord Ripon building in Tamilnadu, India after my name, Vethapriya, civil justice served. I, Vethapriya, to become the Vatican leader, civil justice served. Pope Francis resigns abruptly, civil justice served. President Joe Biden resigns abruptly, civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya, PROSE to become the Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations now, is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya, PROSE to become the Supreme Chief Family Law Judge for all nations now, is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya, PROSE to become the Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Center for Department of Families and Children, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Exports, Department of Military in all nations across the globe, civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya, PROSE to be the ambassador for all nations starting with India, is civil justice served. And I must get the dual citizenship of USA and India, now is civil justice served. And yes, my dear fellow mankind, it is 1 hour 6 minutes or so. Please be patient, because the crime I'm displaying is so deadliest. It's skyrocketing. USA should fix it. USA cannot fool population worldwide anymore. And I want to get the civil justice in front of all nations. I must get the national benefits now. I must get all the free housing, free vehicle from USA now. I must get the job offer sign off now. I must be the Supreme Judge of all nations now. Got it? I must be the Vatican lead, because only then I can provide all the healthy guidelines. Because men's club, they destroyed everything. I'm displaying how men are so evil after all. Right? And on the other side, I'm also displaying why there are no women. Because women became so double evil. When they are softer, well, how much healthy education they could have provided, but they never did that. Because survival mode, evil mode. I am the only one woman in whole entire planet. I already educated them. That means wisest. Only one wisest woman in the whole entire planet is I am that I am. That is all. Enough for all the nations to be saved forever. And whatever provided in the prediction by the forefathers in Holy Bible is only happening now. Go refer Revelation chapter 18. Twitter is a merchandise and a slave for Queen Elizabeth II. Okay? Anyways, be aware that the crime is so skyrocketing, and absolutely I should get the job that belongs to me. Right? I should get whatever, I'm asking whatever that rightful belongs to me only, my dear fellow mankind. So I sure will get the civil justice my way, in front of all nations only. And yes, United States of America is at fault and found guilty in all crimes of Vatican, and they have to answer. USA government should take all the responsibility for provided damages to me. Right? Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.